Miami-Dade County, under the leadership of Mayor Daniela Levine Cava, is moving swiftly to expand COVID-19 vaccine distribution to protect our community and move our economy forward. Vaccine supplies are currently extremely limited, and as the state provides more vaccines to the county, we are working hard to distribute them as fast as possible. Register for vaccine updates and get more information at miamidade.gov/vaccine. Get vaccinated, Miami-Dade County. It's our best shot for a strong, healthy community.
And welcome in WDNA 88.9 FM, the Frost Jazz Hour here on this fine penultimate Thursday of September. I'm your host, Philip Capuzzi, pleased to be joining you, as always, from 11 a.m. until 12 noon as we welcome in some of the premier students and faculty, whether they be current or having stepped away from Frost in recent years, here into the Jazz Gallery to perform live and direct for you all. Looking forward to next week's program, just to mention it before we get into this morning's program. We're going to have the Monk Mingus Ensemble in under the direction of the ubiquitous John Hart. So very much looking forward to that performance, and then an onslaught of incredible performances in October as well that I'll mention once we get into the show a little bit. But for us here this morning, we have a really good friend of mine, incredible vocalist, composer, multi-instrumentalist, Vania Junco, as she brings in a quintet of hers into the Jazz Gallery, joined by Angel Perez on piano, Jesse Katz on upright bass, and Brahm Masla on drums, and another good friend of mine, Aaron Bissoondial, to join them in just a few moments. So without further ado, here on the Frost Jazz Hour, I'm going to thank this group so much for being here, and I think we can just get into the music.
Down with love, flowers and rice and shoes. Down with love, the root of all midnight blues. Down with things that give you that one-on pain. Take moon and rabbit and cellophane. Down with love, let's liquidate all its friends. Moon and June and roses and rainbows ends. Down with songs that mourn about night and day. Down with love, just take it away, away. Take it away, take it away. Give it back to the birds and the bees and the V&Ds. Down with eyes, romantic and stupid. Down with stars and down with Cupid. Brother, let's let that dove. Down with love. Look about you, what do you see? Love sick, love lorn, love wreck, love warm, boo-hoo, humanity. There'll be no peace on earth until this curse is wiped off from our love-mad universe. Are we mice or are we men? Can't you see the light? Come, you fellow victims, let's unite. Down with love, the flowers and rice and shoes. Down with love, the root of all midnight blues. Down with things that give you that one-on pain. Take the moon and wrap it in cellophane. Down with love, let's liquidate all its friends. Moon and June and roses and rainbows ends. Down with songs
Vania Junco, live and direct here on the Frost Jazz Hour, WDNA 88.9 FM. Welcoming in anyone who might have just joined us on the program, whether you're listening on 88.9 or WDNA.org, or perhaps you're watching the live stream on livestream.com or youtube.com, beautifully produced by our team here. Now as we welcome Aaron Bissoondial on guitar for this next tune. Vania, thanks again for being with us here this morning. It's a great pleasure to listen to this group and some of your music together. So what's next?
Thank you so much for having me. So that last tune was an arrangement of Down With Love. It's a Harold Arlen tune. Up next is a samba, very beloved record that I love listening to, called, it's just a bunch of love songs about Brazil. This one is called No Tabuleiro da Baiana.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Yeah, take it away.
No tabuleiro da Baiana tem tem pra ioiô. Se eu pedir você me dá o seu coração, seu amor de aia. No coração da Baiana tem seu sago. Pra você, juro por Deus, pelo Senhor do bom fim, quero você pra minha terrinha pra mim. Se mais depois, o que será de nós dois? Seu amor é tão fugaz, enganador. Tudo já fiz, fui até nunca gerei. Vai ser feliz, meus trapinhos juntar pra você. Mas uma ilusão, teu amor é tão fugaz sem coração. No tabuleiro da Baiana tem você me dá o seu coração, o seu amor de iaiá. No coração da Baiana tem seu Issaú, Candiri e Lussaú, Candomblé pra você. Juro por Deus, pelo Senhor do bom fim, quero você, pai, a minha terrinha pra mim. O que será de nós dois? Seu amor é tão fugaz, enganador. Tudo eu fiz, fui até nunca gerei. Vai ser feliz, meus trapinhos juntar pra você. E depois vai ser mais uma ilusão, que o amor quem governa o coração.
Vania Junco, live and direct here on WDNA 88.9 FM, the Frost Jazz Hour. She's on vocals and also leading this wonderful quintet, joined by Aaron Bissoondial on guitar, Angel Perez on piano, Jesse Katz on upright bass, and Brahm Masla rounding out the ensemble on drums. Thanks again so much for coming here and sharing your music.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Of course, yeah, it's my honor. So I first like to ask the musicians that come in just to share some of their background in the music. How did you come to the music? How did you come to study jazz and compose music and do everything that you do so beautifully?
Yeah, I was always drawn to music ever since I was a child. I was in a lot of choirs, a lot of bands, but I think specifically jazz. To be completely transparent, I don't know if she's watching this, but my good friend Nicole Garcia, I went to high school with her for a year before I transferred to a different school, but one of the first things that I ever saw at that school was her taking lessons with a good teacher of mine, Ryan Ellis. Basically, the two of them were my entire reason for even ever getting exposed to jazz. I really hadn't been up until that point, and I remember specifically going up to Mr. Ellis one day when I was in high school and saying, hey, I want to do what Nicole does. And that's when I started taking lessons and learning tunes. So I really owe it all to her. I haven't told her that, I think, but yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, we had her on the program a few weeks ago, and she did it really beautifully. So that's really cool. I had no idea that you guys went to high school together. So then, kind of a follow-up to that, being from Miami and then going to Frost. At least in my time at Frost, I observed something of a different perspective from those students that were local and then those that were coming from really far away. So I'm just curious kind of what your thoughts are on that, because obviously this group, you have some musicians that are here local and then others that come from really far away. And then I think personally that's something that was so beautiful about Frost, was its ability to bring together different members, and form kind of a new community. But yeah, I was just hoping for some of your thoughts.
Absolutely. Especially I think because of the location of the university. I think as someone who's local, I don't find myself only drawn to people who are local, but I think I can speak for a lot of local Miamians when I say we notice when people choose to engage with the culture of our city and choose to become a member of it and a community member and become active and be receptive to all of the different cultures and the diversity and become a part of it rather than just, I guess, a customer of it, I would say.
Yeah, that's really well said. Awesome. Yeah, so I think we're going to talk a little bit more later in the program, but for the time being, let's get back to the music. What do you have next?
Next is an original of mine called Vania Swamp for Bugs, a little wordplay on Moody's Mood for Love. It's a tune about bugs. I wrote it my freshman year of college, and yeah, hope you enjoy.
Sounds good. You're listening to the Frost Jazz Hour here on WDNA 88.9 FM. Vania Junco performing live and direct from the Jazz Gallery.
Two ladybugs, the spotted lady and her love, creeping and crawling up above. Two ladybugs, a spider queen, her in her web and you between. She could be lovely or obscene, the spider queen. A cockroach life up in a cockroach world is not any different from your own. But don't let him in your home. He's not alone. The swamp is in. The swamp is hip and live again. Come say hello to your new friends. The swamp is in. cockroach world is not any different from your own. But don't let him in your home. He's not alone. The swamp, it seems, is closed for business, fast asleep. Don't hear a cricket or a peep. The swamp is asleep.
Vanya's Swamp for Bugs here, live and direct on the Frost Jazz Hour, WDNA 88.9 FM. You're listening to Vania Junco on vocals, also leading this wonderful ensemble, joined by Aaron Bissoondial on guitar, Angel Perez on piano, Jesse Katz on upright bass, and Brahm Masla on drums. In that last tune, a wonderful original written by Vania herself. And now, as we move forward in the program, we're going to listen to a beautiful ballad as performed by Angel and Vania together. But just to mention it one more time, next week at the same time, 11 a.m. as always, the Frost Jazz Hour here on Thursdays. We're going to be welcoming in the Monk Mingus Ensemble under the direction of John Hart. So very, very excited for that program. And then in the coming weeks in October, we have the Art Blakey Ensemble led by Brian Lynch, followed by Shelley Berg. And then after that, the Daphnis Prieto Artist Ensemble will be in here. So stacked, to say the least, for the next couple of weeks, really month here at the Frost Jazz Hour. So be sure to tune in every week at 11 a.m., whether you listen on 88.9 or feel free to check out the live stream, as always, on livestream.com and youtube.com. And with that, we're going to step back to the music with a duo rendition of The Peacocks.
The window looked out onto a pattern never ending. A flower and trees in little pathways for descending to the garden far below us. The pavilions in the sunlight, where the peacocks proudly graze the sea. A vision, a timeless place, another way of living. You moved in so close, I really thought that you were giving. I allowed myself a moment to believe that you could need me, to reflect upon what might have been. The summer sky I saw reflected in the color of your eyes, but somehow I could never peel away the layers of disguise. I'm drowning now, I'm slowly sinking in a sea of blue and green, where what you are is never seen. How can an truth is an intrusion. A mirage is all it's ever been. Beauty is only an illusion. Here your truth is an intrusion. A mirage is all it's
Absolutely incredible. The Peacocks here live and direct on the Frost Jazz Hour. Must say I wasn't expecting to tear up here on this edition, but the brilliance of Vania Junco, unbelievable performance. That's Vania Junco, of course, on vocals and leading this group alongside Angel Perez on duo just a moment ago for that tune. We're going to step away briefly for some important messages from the station and come back with some more incredible music from this wonderful group. Welcome back, WDNA 88.9 FM, the Frost Jazz Hour. I'm your host, Philip Capuzzi. Pleased to be joining you here on this fine Thursday morning as we welcome in the Vania Junco Quintet live and direct to the Jazz Gallery. It's Vania Junco leading this ensemble. She's also composing some of the tunes that they're playing, as well as on vocals for this morning as well. And she's joined by Aaron Bissoondial on guitar, Angel Perez, who just performed a beautiful duo with her before the break, and he stepped off for this next tune. And rounding out the ensemble in the rhythm section, Jesse Katz on upright bass and Brahm Masla on drums. So without further ado, here on the Frost Jazz Hour, let's step back into the music.
Saw you in a dream, you would stay the same. You were beckoning me, said that I changed. Try to keep my eyes closed, I want you so bad. Then I awoke and it was so sad. Haven't talked to you in months, but I thought that I might cry. But come and visit me again. You're taking your time to reappear. I'm starting to believe that when I call your name, you just don't hear me anymore. But I know that I shouldn't even try. It's a waste of time. When I'm awake, I can't switch off. It isn't the same, but it is enough. It isn't the same. When I'm awake, I can't switch off. It isn't the same, but it is enough. It isn't the same, but it is enough. It is enough. It is enough. When I'm awake, I can't switch off. It isn't the same, but it is enough. When I'm awake, I can't switch off. It isn't the same, but it is enough. It is enough. It is enough. It is enough. It is enough.
Yeah. Saw You in a Dream here live and direct on WDNA 88.9 FM. Vania Junco and her group absolutely killing it on the air here. Thank you so much for being here once again. It's really so humbling to be able to experience your music. Vania Junco, of course, on vocals, also leading this wonderful ensemble. She's joined by Aaron Bissoondial on guitar, Jesse Katz on upright bass, and Brahm Masla on drums. Also Angel Perez off screen at the current moment, but will be rejoining the ensemble in due time. So now as we move forward with the program, we're going to step into Dat Dare, which should be a really interesting rendition of the tune between Jesse and Vania. Just to mention one more time, next Thursday, the Monk Mingus Ensemble will be here in the Jazz Gallery, as always, at 11 a.m. on Thursdays. That's under the direction of John Hart. Really looking forward to that program. If you have it within your means to donate to the station and support programs like these, the FIU Music Hour, the Frost Jazz Hour, as well as our other programs here at the station that we produce for you on a day-in, day-out basis, you can visit WDNA.org. You can donate securely and go so far to help maintain programs like these and help wonderful musicians like Vania and her outfit come into the gallery and share their music and some of their story with you all. So one more time, that's WDNA.org. Any donation of $60 or more grants you a sustaining membership, and really any amount goes so far to help the station. So with that said, let's get back to the music. Vania Junco live and direct on the Frost Jazz Hour on 88.9 FM.
Hey mama, what that there? Hey, why that under there? And oh mama, oh hey mama, hey look it over there. Hey, where they going there? And what they doing there? Hey mama, can I have that big elephant over there? Who that in my chair? And what's she doing there? And oh mama, oh hey mama, hey what that say up there? Hey mama, what's a square? And where do we get air? Hey mama, can I have that big elephant over there? My quizzical She doesn't want anything hid. She's forever demanding to know who, what, and why, and where. Inquisitive child, and sometimes the questions get wild. Like, Mama, can I have that big elephant over there? Don't wanna comb my hair, and where's my teddy bear? And oh, Mama, oh, hey, look at that cowboy coming there. Hey, can I have a pair of boots like that to wear? Mama, can I have that big elephant over there? The time will march, the years will grow. The little lady's gonna grow. I gotta tell her all she'll need to know. A helper along so she'll know right from wrong. Gotta make her strong. As life's parade goes trudging by, she'll need to know some reasons why. I don't have all the answers, but I'll try as best as I can. Gotta help her to plan so she'll make her stand. You give the kid your best, and you hope she'll pass the test when you finally send her out into the world somewhere. Although she's grown, I'm betting I never am forgetting. Mama, can I have that big elephant over there? Hey, what they doing there? And where they going there? I know, Mama, oh, hey, Mama, hey, what that under there? Hey, Mama, what is fair? How come I gotta share? Mama, can I have that big elephant over there? Say, Mama, can I have that big elephant over there? Mama, can I have that big elephant over there?
Vania Junco and Jesse Katz live and direct here on the Frost Jazz Hour, WDNA 88.9 FM. Vania leading this wonderful ensemble here this fine Thursday morning. Looking forward to the Monk Mingus Ensemble next Thursday from 11 a.m. until 12 noon, as always, for the Frost Jazz Hour. So as we welcome the rest of the musicians back on for the conclusion to this program, Vania, I wanted to ask you a few more questions. The first time that we met a few years ago was in the improv class led by actually the director of the jazz program over at Frost, John DeVersa, and I remember being so blown away by not only your improvisatory ability, but also the confidence with which you entered into the space. So I'm just curious, how intentional were you in developing those skills in general? What was your journey with improvisation? Because I must say you're really quite incredible.
Oh, well, thank you, first of all. Improvisation, I think, was one of the first things that I learned about jazz, and I think because I originally started playing jazz also on the saxophone, and I was an instrumentalist for a while as well, so really like getting to know blowing, and that was one of the first things I was working on in high school and in lessons and such. I don't really know how to explain it, but the way that my dear teachers, Ryan and Cindy Ellis, shout out, they had me start, I ended up coming to college knowing very little standards and a lot of very, very out tunes, a lot of Monk, a lot of Mingus, and I think it's just because that's what I was so drawn to as far as jazz. I think I love feeling like I can still be somewhat of an instrumentalist and a writer, as well as like just as much as I sing. And I think, you know, I've heard a few professors say that composition is a lot like slow improvising, and to me, improvising is a lot like fast composing. And so that's the approach I take to it, and that's, I think, why I love it so much.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing that. So kind of a follow-up to that, as it relates to your multi-instrumentalism, also your engagement in composing and your engagement in spheres other than jazz as well, some of the music that you've written, falling more into pop spheres. So this concept of what I like to call multi-potentialism, that idea that, you have different spheres that you can engage in, you don't necessarily have to specialize in one area. I guess I'll also mention that you're a really talented visual artist. So I guess leading myself to my question, do you think about these different aspects of yourself as being separate, or do you feel as though they're all encompassing, within yourself?
I definitely feel like they're all encompassing and all intertwined. I love being able to go into little spheres and develop certain things more, but I think everything that I do influences everything else, and I don't think I would be the musician and artist that I am today if I were not allowed to, if I was just kind of put in a box. And that's something I do love about Frost and all of the things that I get to do at school. I really have the freedom to sing like a writer and write like a singer and a guitar player and a piano player and all of these things.
Awesome. Yeah, so before we get back into the music to close out this program, I just wanted to ask, where can people find you? Where can they find your music? Where can they find your art if they want to keep experiencing, your conception?
Absolutely. I do have a link tree, if anybody knows what that is, linktr.ee/Vania Junco. That's linked to my Instagram with my art account, my Facebook, my SoundCloud, my YouTube channel. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. I post more music there, I think, than most other places. And I'm looking forward to hopefully getting on streaming platforms sometime in the future, but for right now, that's where to find me.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you so much. So for the listeners, one time we've been listening to the music and hearing some of the story of Vania Junco here this fine Thursday morning. She's leading this group, also an incredible composer, multi-instrumentalist, vocalist, and she's joined by Aaron Bissoondial on guitar, Angel Perez on piano, Jesse Katz on upright bass, and Brahm Masla on drums. So with a little bit more in the program, we have some more time for music. What's next?
Up next is Anthropology.
Sounds good. Take it away. Anthropology here, live and direct just a moment ago on WDNA 88.9 FM, the Frost Jazz Hour. That's Vania Junco on vocals, also leading this wonderful quintet, joined by Aaron Bissoondial on guitar, Angel Perez on piano, Jesse Katz on upright bass, and Brahm Masla on drums. Vania, thanks again once more for being with us. I think we have time for one more tune if you guys want to take it away.
Yeah, absolutely. For you to give you dirty looks. I have words that do not come from children's books. There's a trick with a knife I'm learning to do, but everything I've got belongs to you. I have a powerful anesthesia in my fist, and the perfect wrist to give your neck a twist. Hammerlock holds, I've mastered a few, but everything I've got belongs to you. Share for share, share alike. Sugar chuck, each time I strike. Me for you and you for me. I'll give you plenty of nothing. I'm not yours for better, but for worse. And I've learned to give the well-known witch's curse. I have a terrible tongue and a temper for two, but everything I've got, ooh, it's not a lot, but everything I've got belongs to you. wrist, and the perfect wrist to give your neck a twist. Hammerlock holds, I've mastered a few. Everything I've got belongs to you. And at night we'll sleep and sleep, sleep and sleep and sleep and sleep, sleep and sleep and sleep and sleep. I'll give you plenty of nothing. I'm not yours for better, but for worse. And I've learned to give the well-known witch's curse. I have a terrible tongue and a temper for two, but everything I've got, ooh, it's not a lot, but everything I've got belongs to you.
Vania Junco for the final time here on the Frost Jazz Hour. She is leading this wonderful group and also composed some of the tunes that you heard from, as well as arranged some of the other ones. She's joined by Aaron Bissoondial on guitar here this morning, as well as Angel Perez on piano, Jesse Katz on upright bass, and Brahm Masla on drums. Really wonderful program, Vania. Thanks so much for being with us. It was a great pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So one more time, next week we're looking forward to the Monk Mingus Ensemble live and direct under the direction of John Hart. So Philip Capuzzi signing off, and we'll see you next week.